everybody. We're the two crafty Sheilas. I'm Belle and Loz is there with me. And today we thought we'd do a bit of a whip and chat and catch everybody up on things that have been happening in the last couple of weeks. But first of all, how is everybody? I hope everyone's doing well. Let us know in the comments. That'd be really good. Now, today I have started on my new Dreamer Designs called Haunted Halloween Library. So I'll see if I can get a little bit of an image. No, I can't work out how this camera goes. There we go. So it's that one that I unboxed recently. We'll get the camera angles right sooner or later, I'm sure.
One day.
It's a little bit of a big one. It's a 60 by 90 centimetre and it is a square. So you might be able to see I've only done that small little corner down there and I'm now working on my second section. Loz,
That's
what are you
working on? Unboxed, wasn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is. This is the unboxing.
So I'm doing a Diamond Art Club one. This is Forest Sprite. Isn't she? She's just beautiful. And it's from, let me see, Christine Karen. And it's a 51 by 66 centimetres. So I too have only just sort of started, just done two of my sections up the top. It's a square. Beautiful. It's nice to be doing something a little bit different. I don't usually go for these sort of colour tones. I don't know if I'm liking it, but I'll keep plodding along to see how it goes.
The image is beautiful though.
Oh, she's just gorgeous. It really is, but I usually go for the big bright colours, the rainbows and everything, but to go for like a really pastel greens, it's very different for me, but I got to give it a go, and I bought this one back in 2022. So I'm getting through my stash. Yeah, getting through the stash, so it's nice.
Oh, good. So it's been a couple of weeks since we've recorded a video, and I know that last time that when we recorded, you were saying you were going away for the weekend with the family. How was your trip?
It was amazing. The weather, it was raining right up to it. The road into Airlie Beach was actually closed. Oh, they closed one lane because it had flooded. So we were like petrified. We weren't going to get into Airlie, but the heavens just cleared and it was just magical. Like we get I think I said it, we get a cabin at this caravan park. Yep. And they have these big water slides and a massive big pool, and it's just so much to do for the kids. And we had a great time, and I felt the full effects of it for my aging body.
Is that because you had a few too many cocktails by the pool?
No, I didn't have any. I'm upset.
You disappoint me.
Yeah, I know. Disappoint myself. But no, it was all about the kids. You know, that weekend it was my daughter's birthday and something we do every year, and it was all about her. And we went on every slide millions of times and played tennis and mini golf and scooted around the park. It was wonderful. So nice to have some family time. Yeah, and then I've got Pink coming next weekend. So I'm like, yes, going to Pink.
I'm very jealous of that. You're living the life this month.
Oh, I know. And then Beauty and the Beast. I tell you, I'm spoiled. Really spoiled. Wow.
Is the Beauty and the Beast in Brisbane?
It's in Brisbane, yeah. So just my husband and I are going down. It's my birthday that week. On the day we're going to see Beauty and the Beast, and
it's on your birthday. That's so cool.
Yeah, I picked my birthday, and so it's first time my husband and I have had a decent amount of time away from the kids. It's only 3 nights, but still.
Yeah, it's a big thing. Think of all the sleep you might get.
I know. Hoping so. Yeah. What have you been up to, Belle?
So in the last video, I was talking about how I'd gone away for a trip and I'd learnt how to vaccinate and inject people.
Oh, exciting.
So they haven't let me loose on the public yet. They wanted to make sure I was comfortable. But Friday, a week ago, one of my co-workers, she's actually going overseas this weekend. So she bailed me up and she held out for me, and she hit me up and said, "Oh, can you give me my my Havrix vaccine, which is typhoid and Hep A?"
Yes.
So I was like, yeah, that'll be really exciting. That sounds good. Let's do it. And when we actually read the instructions, because she's like, I've never injected this either. When we read the instructions, it's not just a normal pre-filled syringe. It's a dual chamber. So you've got typhoid in one liquid and you've got the Hep A in the other liquid, and you can only mix it together right before you inject it. So we're even trying to work out how to mix the two liquids together without wasting this vaccine. And then I had to inject her, and I was so nervous. I'd worked myself up to doing it, and then having to do this bizarre layout of a vaccination was really quite bizarre. So I did it. She said it didn't hurt. She barely felt it go in. So confidence booster right there. And then, of course, like, we're coming into winter soon. So our flu vaccines arrived.
That's early.
Private vaccines, so not the national immunisation ones, the private ones. But they arrived this week, and so a heap of staff lined up and let me jab them. So I got through 5. We didn't actually start until like 10 minutes before I was due to finish my shift. So I stabbed 5 people in about 10 minutes.
Nice.
But it was really good. It was really good for me because the first couple I had, to get that confidence up again, they were fantastic. The last 2 I had were a little bit more needle phobic, so they actually jumped when I started to jab them. They said it didn't hurt. It was just, they're not comfortable with needles. So it was good for me to see how that happens because, I keep dealing with best case scenarios, not the real world. So it was good to have that.
I've had one incident where this one lady, she tensed her muscle so tight that I couldn't even, I got the needle in. It was pretty much straight after the needle. Oh, sorry. Okay. This might be a bit of a trigger warning for any needle phobics, but I couldn't push the liquid in. I couldn't push in the flu vax. So I actually had to take it out. I had to get her to relax a bit more and try again in the other arm. So technically she had 2 needles.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's probably my worst. I've never had anyone faint yet.
Okay.
So
that's good. That's good. I will be honest, the first one that I did in the practice session, not in the real world, the one that we did in the practice situation was the first time I'd ever jabbed someone. It was only saline, but I jabbed someone and I thought I was going to faint. That adrenaline was so much. And I was like, this is ridiculous. I'm the one jabbing. I shouldn't be the one fainting.
I know when I was doing my nursing, my first one that I did was pethidine back in the day. Don't do pethidine anymore, but it was like in the backside. And that was quite fun. I'll always remember that one. But I know, like I told you, like I learnt to give needles in oranges. No one knew what it is doing it to a human being, but it's great, especially if the person comes in really arrogant. And you could just like you.
I'm going to bring you down to size.
That's it. Oh, good. I hope you're going to enjoy it. You'll love every minute of it, I tell you.
I will. I will get there, and I've noticed I'm already getting a little bit more confident with it. Like I'm still a bit needle phobic. I'm not a huge fan of the needles, but I don't feel quite so uncertain. So
that's good.
like after only giving 6 injections in less than a week. So I figure, talking to most other people in my profession, they're up in the quadruple digits. They're in the thousands. So I figure, I'll be fine by the time I get to that stage.
You're lucky you don't have to give the kids.
We are actually able to.
Oh, are you?
So our extended practice authority is actually allowing us to do anything from 2 and up, with the exception of, the COVID vaccine's changed, but the flu vaccine we can actually do from 6 months and up.
Yeah. I tell you, 4-year-olds are the worst.
Yes.
They are so aware of what's going on. I had to hold one down like a baby to give her needle. And I have
And
young
that's my
kids ever
fear for my
since.
son.
Yeah, it's
That's
not
my
fun.
fear. And although he did ask me, I got home from work yesterday and I didn't end up having to jab anybody. But my son said to me when I got home, he said, "Oh, did you have to give anybody a needle today?" And I said, "No, darling, we don't have to do it every day." And he said, "Are you going to give me mine?" And he got all excited. I was like, "No, sweetheart, I'm not going to give you yours."
Oh, bless him. That's great.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to do my kids' needles.
No, that honestly scares me because you don't want to hurt them. And you know that you're not, but you still don't want to be the one inflicting it. Like, I don't know. It's a very bizarre thing.
Yeah. Happily pass that on to someone else.
Exactly. Exactly. So I at least booked him in for his 4-year-old needles because he turns 4 next month.
Yeah.
So I've got him booked in for the day after his birthday. It's in school holidays, so hubby's
Happy
off.
birthday to him.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, "Oh, well, you get one day of enjoyment and then you're getting stabbed."
Yeah.
So, and being the 4-year needles, I think he gets like 4 needles because he'll get his flu vaccine too.
Yeah.
So I think he ends up with 4 needles. So he's going to be a bit of a pincushion.
Yeah. Oh, we'll have the flu needle a bit later. I like to tend to give it to them in May.
Yes.
Yeah, because I know it's like an active life of about 4 months, and then it starts to wane. So that I tend, the later the better I can get them. And plus my GP down here are a bit slow getting their government funded ones in because my kids are asthma. So we don't have to pay for theirs. But still, I think it's a really good thing for them to have.
Absolutely. Well, at least this year, every Queenslander is entitled to a free vaccine.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so they've actually done that again this year. So that the Australian National Immunisation Program, even kids. So yeah, the National Immunisation Program allows under 5s, anyone who is of First Nations descent or has a chronic medical condition or over the age of 65, they get it free from the Australian government. Because we've had such a couple of bad years with flu and COVID and hospitalisation rates, the Queensland government have actually extended that and said everyone else who doesn't meet the criteria will actually get a free vaccine from the Queensland government. So it's really good that, everyone, other than people under the age of 6 months who can't, everyone else will actually be eligible for a free vaccination.
Good. Yeah. I have to have one for my work. And my hubby, they actually offer it through his workplace as well. So
same with my hubby.
Great initiative, isn't it? You get the access. You don't have to go out of your way to go and get them. Yeah.
That's exactly right. My husband said they'd literally just sit in a chair and they move through and the next one comes through and very easy.
Wonderful.
Yes. And had anything else been happening for you for work, Loz?
I have actually had to train in a different type of assessment service. So because I work in a quality, because I work in a quality role, I need to learn both assessment types. So I currently do one, which is in the residential facilities, and they wanted me to learn the one out in the community. So I went out this week to train with a buddy and did a couple of these assessments, and I loved it. So we'll be out doing them probably one day a fortnight and helping out with the clinical team. So I'm very excited
for you.
Yeah, no, it's kind of what I used to do in my previous role, but like intake, that sort of way. But yeah, it's very exciting. It's nice to learn something a bit different and add it to my repertoire. And
absolutely, you don't want the job to get too stagnant. Otherwise, we sort of lose that drive about why we're there.
Definitely. And we went up to Eungella, was one where we went to yesterday, and I tell you, like Eungella means like up in the clouds, and it's up on the top of a I know you've been there before, but I'll explain to everyone. It's on the top of a range, and it overlooks the actual valley heading into the town I live. And it had the clouds. So coming up the range, we were actually going up into the clouds, and it was just misty rain, and it was cool. And I took so many photos, and because we've had so much rain lately, the waterfalls around the range coming down the rocks, they were just beautiful. I was like taking photos of everything going up the range, and I'm like, I love it. It's just amazing. So that was
I've only been up there once. Yeah, I've only been up there once, but it's just gorgeous. It's one of the best places in Australia. It makes my heart sing just seeing that beautiful nature. And for anyone out there who doesn't know Eungella, it's one of the only places in Australia where you can easily access and see platypus wild in the river. It's just an amazing experience.
We've gone up, every time we've gone up there, we've always seen them. So even during the day, you know, they say best to see them at dusk and dawn, but we've seen them about lunchtime, just frolicking under one of the bridges. It's when my kids see them, you got to look for the bubbles and the bow waves, and then they just pop up out of nowhere. And they're a lot smaller. They are. They really are up in Broken River. I don't know if that's normal to this region, but they can get quite big. But we've even had one spotted down next to our local Woolworths in the little creek there. So he must have got flushed down from some of the floods, and he got spotted down in that creek. But I tell you, they're the best thing to just watch. I love the platypus.
They're amazing. They're so calm, and they are really playful. It's quite nice to watch.
And last time we went, you've only ever seen them there. Last time we went, there was another couple of people beside us, and this kingfisher just came and landed on one of the branches beside us because they have these viewing platforms, and he's like, "Oh my God, that's one of the endangered kingfishers, and it's only local to Eungella." And it was just sitting there right beside us. It was a beautiful blue colour, it was just just made the day so nice. I'm not one for nature. Like, I prefer the beach and that, but being up there in the rainforest, it was you wouldn't want to ruin. You can't ruin. It's a magical place. Yeah, it truly is. Yeah. If any international folks, if you come over to Australia, you've got to put Eungella region on your list. It is just breathtaking. Hidden gem, I think.
I'll even try and put a link to, because I think they've actually got a website for the national park side of things. So I might even try and put a link to that in the description so that people can just see what we're talking about. It is beautiful.
It is, yeah, definitely.
But last time we went up, you said you saw, beautiful kingfishers. We got the other extreme, the one that nobody wants to see. We had a snake go across the path next to us.
Oh no!
Yeah, so the tourists all jumped a mile. The locals just, slowly retreated.
Was it a python?
It was brown. It was brown in colour, so I don't really know if it ended up just being a type of tree snake or if it was, like an eastern brown or something.
They are pretty common here, the brown tree snakes. Yeah.
Exactly. So, we just backed away. We weren't getting too close to have a look. But, the tourists were all screaming, which, of course, then agitated it. And we had to keep saying to people, like, just calm down, back away, don't yell, just leave it be. But, that was a bit of fun.
Just like your snake, you had it in your driveway?
So I have a couple of stories to tell about the snake in the house. So we did actually have a snake in our house. It wasn't just in the driveway, it was in our house. So 2 Saturdays ago, which I think is just after we'd recorded, I was downstairs. My son had his rest, he calls it, but it was a little nap. And he'd just woken up and he came upstairs and I heard him, yelling out, calling out to my husband, I'm up. And my husband said, can you keep quiet, calm down, don't say anything, I'm concentrating. And so then, of course, my son's like, what are you doing, Dad? Like, tell me what you're doing. Can I have a look? And I thought I was downstairs and I was just listening because, you don't expect to hear words like that. And I heard my husband say, mate, I'm trying to get a snake out of the house. Can you step back, please? And I was just going, wait, what? The alarm bells are ringing. I've come racing up the stairs and was like, did I just hear the word that I thought I heard? Was that the 5-letter word I never want to hear in my house? And my husband just said, yeah, it might have been. So I was like, I came upstairs carefully and slowly, grabbed my son, grabbed the cat because then the cat kept trying to get in the way and get to it. So I'm wrangling child. None of us have shoes on. None of us have gloves at this stage. We've done really well for all the right things to do.
Yeah.
And then husband couldn't find it. My kids' toys are everywhere in the lounge room. It's disgraceful. We're trying to clean it. It disappeared because he was trying to get the cat away from the snake. So now all of a sudden we can't find it. And I'm going, I can't let this go. I can't deal with knowing that there is a snake in my house and I don't know where it is. And at this stage, I didn't even know what it was. So I've ended up pulling my son out and I was like, mate, just sit in the bedroom. I'm not going to shut the door. Just sit there and just watch. Don't come out. And I've at least gone to get thongs. My husband's gone to get thongs. And for any of our international people, thongs are shoes. They are not what you think they are. And he went to get gloves as well, just gardening gloves to at least be able to handle it if he had to. And so we're running around trying to find this bloody snake. So then my husband gives up and he just leaves. And I was going, oh, no. But there's a snake in the house. You can't just go. So I'm just standing in the lounge room going, there's a snake in this room and I don't know where it is. This is not a comfortable feeling. And I hadn't seen it. So I didn't even know how big it was. I was basically gone in blind.
Oh, no.
So I just grabbed the cat and just went, right, cat, I'm watching where you go and what you do. And thankfully she got very interested and she started sniffing around the TV and the TV cabinet. And she got really intense. It took her a little bit, she kept sniffing around and she started to get really intense. So I was watching her. It had ended up, it was a really small, it would have been, maybe an adolescent tree snake. And it was a dark brown, and it had wrapped itself around the TV cord. So it basically blended in. I couldn't see it. And then it started to move because it was then trying to sniff the cat. So screaming out to the husband, which then, of course, made my son come running out. So that did not go down well. So I'm grabbing him, I'm grabbing the cat, and I'm telling him where the snake is. So he evicted the snake. He took it down the back. We didn't kill it. It's not actually legal here. Snakes are a protected species. So he did actually take it down the back. He caught it with his gardening gloves. It had to go out in. Thankfully, it was a tree snake, so it couldn't, break through the gloves and hurt him. But he got it out the back, and we're on a couple of acres here. So he took it to the far end of our couple of acres, thank goodness. And he let it go. So I was like, oh, thank goodness, we've gotten rid of the snake. So felt much more confident. It's far enough away. It shouldn't really come back. So we should be fine. And then I get home from work on Wednesday because I finish early so I can pick my son up from kindy. And my husband works later. And I opened the garage door, put the car in. Our dog sleeps in the garage. So I went, grabbed him back out. And as I've gotten out of the car, I've turned around. In my garage is another tree snake.
Oh, no.
So, oh, man. And I'm going,
what are they doing?
I know. It's the heat. It's just the heat.
Yeah.
So, so I've ended up, grabbed the dog, chucked the dog out the back, trying to grab the child because, of course, the kid's still strapped in and he's screaming and carrying on because he doesn't like being strapped in, not knowing what's going on. So I'd at least unbuckled him and just said, mate, you can get out of the car, but you do not come near me. I've got to sort this out. So I ended up, as you do, we've got an outdoor vacuum cleaner to clean up things like the garage and the pet fur and everything. So it had like an extension arm. So I grabbed the extension arm and I was basically like trying to not sweep it out, but,
nudge it out
to leave. And I was so proud of myself. I was like, yes, I'm getting rid of this snake. And then it went down the little drain in our driveway. And then I couldn't see it. And it's like a beater in front of our garage. I'm going, no, I'm not comfortable with this. This is not okay. So I've rung my husband and said, as soon as you're home, you're on snake duty. I don't know where this snake has gone.
I'm so proud of you, because I would have just grabbed the kids, grabbed the animals and ran out of there. I would have torched the house. And
I was very tempted to torch the house.
Yeah, that's me with the spider. If there's a spider, I'm done.
Totally with you there. The huntsmans and things that we can get in Australia are not nice.
They give me nightmares.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, what was worse was it came out of the drain, which was great because I was like, I know where you are now. And it started to go up onto our front stoop. And it started to turn like it was going to come into the house. And again, it was like an adolescent tree snake. It was different to the first one because the cat did get the first one, so its tail was a little bit mangled at the end. This one had a fine tail. So it was not the same snake, which, also freaks me out. And it went up on the stoop, and it's so small. I was worried it was actually going to get underneath or through the door. So I was like, no, you're not going back in the house. I'm not doing a snake in the house again. So I went and got my trusty vacuum cleaner extension. It just encouraged it to keep going off, and then it went in our front garden.
Okay, yeah.
So a part of me was like, yay, you're out of my hands. You're going to have plenty of food in the garden. Everything's going to be fine. And then this other thought of my head just went, but it's in my garden.
It's in your garden? Are we like that?
Yeah, what am I going to do? So then what made it worse was, but we've got to walk past this garden. We've got a little garden path between the garden and the house. And that's where we walk down to get to the garbage bin. So my husband keeps saying to me, can you take out the rubbish? I'm like, no, I cannot. And then it freaked me out. And then what was even worse then was on Saturday last week, there was a snake on the front stoop. I'm hoping it was the one from the garden. My husband went to grab it and it took off and it went back in the garden. So it vanished again. And then it was Saturday afternoon last week. It came out and it was sunning itself on the driveway. So my husband managed to grab that one and put it out the back with the first one. So I'm hoping we are done with snakes.
Obviously, a whole heap of eggs have hatched near you if you got all these babies.
Yes, I assumed the same. And we've got the snake guard. So there's these buzzer things that you can get, and it's supposed to be that they don't like the vibration. We've got that. And where this snake went into the garden was quite literally right next to the snake guard. So I don't think it's working very well.
Maybe it just keeps the bigger ones away.
Maybe. And if that's the case, I'm okay with it.
I'd be happy with that too.
I don't like snakes, but I'm okay with a tree snake.
I was going to say, you can just keep them, okay? Touch wood. I've been really good here living near cane fields, and we haven't had anything. But you hear reports on Facebook, be careful, I just caught a red belly black, or be careful, we just had a brown snake. They get a lot of brown snakes at my daughter's school. So that kind of freaks me out a little bit, especially under her demountable. They've had a few, but yeah.
No, that's scary near a school with all the kids because they don't understand.
No, my daughter does. She's pretty good. She's aware not to go near it and stuff. But my boy, I think he'd be just what's that? Young girl in here. That's
my son. Yeah. I want to see it. No, you don't, dude. It's a snake. You don't need to see it.
That's Australia. We're just so intense with our wildlife, hey? We were going out to school drop off one morning, and we had the biggest grasshopper sitting on our fence. I
Oh
swear
my
I've
gosh.
never seen a grasshopper that big. And it was really strange. It wasn't like your typical green, a nice big green grasshopper. It was like a pale brown with like
Oh,
black
those.
stripes. And I'm like, I've never seen one like that before. And it was still there when we got home. So we're like, we're not going to go through that gate. It's just a grasshopper, but I'm like,
It's got stripes. I've never seen a grasshopper with stripes.
It was like over its joints. So, you know, where they come up with their legs. It was sort of over them on the legs. It was really interesting. I've never seen it before. And like maybe he was a bit ill. So luckily hubby kind of grabbed him and threw him into the spare block beside us. So back in the grass.
Oh my gosh, though. That's scary.
Yeah. That's one thing I don't like, stick insects. Oh, they just give me the heebie-jeebies. I just can't do those sort of insects.
Yeah, exactly.
We're really promoting Australia right now, aren't we?
Oh, absolutely. Come visit us. We have amazing things. You know, let's just go back and focus on the fact that, you know, we've got Eungella.
Yes, that's right.
You know, you can
and
see platypus in the wild.
It's not like your typical big cities where we are. We're out in the regional areas, and it's more magical than your big cities, and a lot of people don't get out here. So
yes,
it's definitely want to highlight the places that are near us if we can.
Oh, absolutely. You know, like we've got some amazing creatures. We've got some amazing nature. You know, the Great Barrier Reef is just off the coast for both of us.
Definitely, yeah. Oh, I love it. I could
just be aware
watch
of
that
the animals too.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. And don't go swimming at shark dinner time.
Yeah. I've seen there's a couple of YouTube videos that have been brought out by New Zealanders, Kiwis, and it was done like in a comedic fashion. But there was one that was all about a fake tourism ad for Australia. And they were talking about, that we call them stingers, which are actually quite deadly jellyfish. But for us, they're stingers. So, and we've got, and like the crocs and things, and, people imagine more like your very typical alligators. Like our crocs can easily be 3 or 4 meters long. They're really, really big crocs.
That reminds me, I've got to tell you another wildlife story from my town.
Oh, yes.
We had a bit of flooding about 2 weeks ago, and a crocodile came out on one of the main roads in my town. He found it walking across the road. It probably was about 2 to 3 meters, so it was a baby, but still.
Yeah. Oh my gosh!
Yeah, so we've had a crocodile.
You can keep the crocodiles. I'm not a fan of that. I enjoy swimming way too much.
It was right
being
near
said,
a golf
there's
course.
crocodiles
So
in
they
our
had
river.
Definitely in your river. And this crocodile was going towards the golf course. So they're like have people out there for that day off. I know alligators are known to go on golf course, but not crocodiles.
Is it bad that my instinct just automatically thinks like Happy Gilmore?
Yes. That's great. I love that movie.
Yes. That crocodile was just so random. Loved it.
Yeah.
Oh, I better tell you another funny story.
So what are the plans? Our plans?
Our plans? I was going to tell you my funny story about when I was editing.
No. Tell me your funny.
Yes. So I was editing the last Whip and Chat that we did, and I was doing my son was mucking around while he was eating his dinner, and I was like, this is just a waste of my time. Like, he was just playing around and being silly. So I thought, I'm going to use the time wisely. I'm going to edit a video so I can get it online. So I had it playing in the background, just making sure that everything was working out. And we got to the bit where I was telling the story about how my son started talking about cyclones and what the different categories meant. And apparently I said the wrong thing. So I said in our last WIP and chat that a category 5 can tear down buildings. When I said that on the video, my son heard and he said, "No, Mummy, it doesn't tear down buildings. A category 5 can destroy buildings."
Oh.
Okay, sorry, mate. So my apologies to everybody. It doesn't just tear them down, it destroys them.
You need to go and put a warning on that video now that you're giving out the wrong information.
You reckon put a big edit clip on there now?
According to a 4-year-old, I am wrong.
So, yes, I stood corrected, and he was true. That is actually what the original video said, and he did actually understand what the difference was. So, smart, Alec.
Young Livia Regano right there.
Absolutely. So, for anyone out there, Livio Regano is a local weatherman. So, he does most of the weather for, I think it's basically Queensland.
Yeah, he does.
And he does a lot, and he does it through the local news, but he does it for everywhere in the state. And he often tries to include some local photos that people have taken and explains like the weather that's happening in the photo. So he's trying to educate people at the same time. It's quite good to watch. He can be quite funny.
Yeah.
But yes, I stand corrected. And then the other one that he threw me a curveball this week is like this kid. He scares me sometimes. He knows way more and takes more in than I ever give him credit for. So this year at kindy, it's their first year of school. Some kids have never been to anywhere like school. And, some of them are like my son. They've at least been to daycare, but they've never been in a school environment. So this is all about, trying to prepare them and try and teach them how a school environment works. So his kindy teacher is doing every week this week, 3 or 4 of the kids. Every week this term, the kindy kids are doing like a show and tell bag, and it's called Getting to Know Me. So we have to take in something, 3 little things that the kids can talk about and explain to their friends about, something important to them. So it could be like your pets, or it could be a photo of your family or your family holiday, or, something to do with your culture or your favorite toy, like whatever it is. It's just trying to get them used to public speaking. It's encouraging the kids to ask questions of each other, all of those things. Yeah. So my in-laws, I'm going to slightly change the subject for a second. My in-laws had gone to a small little town called Yeppoon, which is nearby us. And they stayed there for a week, and they were just having some rest and relaxation. And there's a couple of national parks near there, which are absolutely beautiful. And they're called Stony Creek, Water Park Creek. There's another one. I can't remember. There's another one there. And so they went to all of them, and they were taking photos, and they were sharing it with all the families so that, the kids could get involved and see what their Nana and Papa were doing.
Yeah.
And my kid, I went to show him the photo, and I said, "Oh, look where Nana and Papa are now," and pulled it up. And before I even got anything out of my mouth, my kid said, "That's Stony Creek."
Oh, wow.
And I looked at the description. I said, yes, it is. How do you know? We've never taken him there. So how do you know that this is Stony Creek? I'm absolutely floored thinking, does my child need an exorcism? Like, how does he know this? This is freaking me out. But that's when he turns around. Yeah, he turns around and he says, such and such from his kindy class. He showed a photo in show and tell.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so the background must have been close enough. He could actually tell where it was. This kid freaks me out.
Yes. You got to watch him.
Yes. So I can't swear in front of him at all because he understands the context way too well, and he would copy me. So he's a child who is going to get me in trouble.
Yeah, mine do that too. Mummy just swear. Because they know I don't swear very often. So
yes. So they make you think of it when they do. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm like, if I've swore, it means I'm very angry.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, wow.
Geez.
I think you need to get his IQ tested. Sounds like he's very switched on to everything there.
He is. He's quite a freaky little child for that. Like, it's good. He challenges me.
Yeah.
It's really, really good to do it. But wow, he freaks me out when he does this stuff. It's an eye opener.
It would be.
Yes. Cool. We've been going for a little while. The last thing I have to do for today is I have to go and do our vote. But I hear you've already gone this morning and you had the experience.
I have. I love it. They've just, usually on polling days here for us, sometimes they do a sausage sizzle. So I was lucky today that my local school had a sausage sizzle on. So I got to vote. And no, I went to the sausage sizzle first. And then I'm like,
priorities.
Have a nice full tummy before getting into vote. And I said that to the lady. I was like walking up to her, still finishing it off, and I'm like, I'm so sorry, I'm still eating my sausage.
You wouldn't have been the first, you won't be the last.
And she's like, I'm so excited, you have to go and get me one. No, but our local school's just running it to raise some funds for the school, and I think why not? Yeah, I'm happy. $3 for a sausage and a piece of bread. I'm like, yeah. I didn't have breakfast, so I'm like, yeah, perfect.
I mean, that's pretty dear, really.
Yeah, because usually it's $2.50 or $2. Yeah. But I think they've just hacked the price up because I don't think they were expecting too many people to come.
Right.
Because everybody's usually in Mackay, because I'm in a little town. Everyone's usually in the bigger town for sports on a Saturday. But yeah. But it was nice for me. I don't usually have them.
Yeah. So anyone from overseas, just as an FYI, voting here in Australia is actually compulsory. So the trick is that no one makes you physically do a vote. So you have to come and get marked off. So the theory is that most people, while they're there, will just do a vote. But there are still plenty of people that don't want to vote, so they'll do what we call a donkey vote, where they'll basically make it so that it's an invalid vote. But they still just have to come and get marked off the electoral roll, and that's fine. So as an incentive, because the Aussies love a good barbecue, as an incentive, we will often have what we call an election sausage or an election sausage sizzle. So, a lot of the polling booths around town will have, a lot of them are held at public schools and things like, state-owned facilities. So a lot of them will end up doing little fundraisers like that where they will have a sausage sizzle and everyone just goes and gets their sausage sizzle.
They're becoming very rare, though. They're very, very rare, I tell you. Usually it's very hard to find a good one around here. So I jumped on that.
Yeah, well, I think because a lot of them used to actually be done by the state and the federal government. They used to actually get a little bit of funding to do that. Yeah, and that seems to have, because it was, again, one of those things that when everyone was sort of up in arms and they were talking about, referendums and changing how, like, whether we were going to go get away from the monarchy, republic, that's the word. All of that sort of stuff. When everything was all changing, everyone was up in arms of, we shouldn't have to vote, and it was an incentive to sort of do it. And I think they did it for longer than they probably intended, and then COVID was a good excuse to stop.
To stop it, yeah, fair enough.
But
it's nice having kids. It's nice having kids at this age, like a 9-year-old, so I can sort of start to explain. She's asking questions about why are you voting and what's it all about. And so I don't usually take them in with me, but my hubby's working today, and I thought I wanted to get it over and done with while I was out. And it's good for her to see what's involved and
absolutely
get bombarded by documents and brochures at the gate.
Absolutely.
I said to my kids, like, don't touch anything.
Yes. That's right. Don't engage. Don't look. Just keep your eyes
Don't
down
engage.
and keep moving.
Yes. Oh wow.
So no, I'll be doing my vote this afternoon. We usually wait till the afternoon so that my son has his rest and he's a little bit more manageable. And it's a little bit quieter when we go to the polling booth then, so it's a bit easier for us to get in and out and done and not be caught up with my kids. So we'll be doing that soon.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Very good. But I think that should probably just about do us for today. We've done a good video today.
I don't know. We've had a good chat about everything, haven't we?
Absolutely.
Not just about crafts, it's about what we get up to in our day and our life. And mine, like I said, I've got an exciting 2 weeks coming up and heading up to Townsville with my daughter to go see Pink.
I'm looking forward to hearing about that one.
Oh, we're just going to be dancing our heart out, I tell you.
Absolutely.
So that'll be in our next update, our next Whip and Chat. I'll be able to talk about that. So, yeah.
Can't wait.
My daughter, I'll just tell this quick story. She's like, this is her first concert. She's 9. I really don't think she's understanding how massive it's going to be. Like, they're expecting about 40,000 in the stadium.
Oh, wow.
She's like, oh, it's okay because I do my concert for dancing. And I'm like, honey, that only seats 200. I'm like, yeah, I just don't think you're gauging. I think when she sees the stadium, she might click a bit. But
yeah,
and I'm tempted to go get her some. Yeah, I'm tempted to get her some headphones, some earmuffs.
Oh, good idea.
But she said she doesn't want them, but I think I might just get them just in case.
Even if she doesn't want it when the concert is on, like even if it's just that pre-build up and the interval, because that noise is huge.
Yeah, and she's got a really good support act in Tones and I. So we love Tones and I as well. So it's going to be fantastic. Really, really excited. Yeah.
I am so excited for you.
Thank you. All right. Well, we can sign off for the day.
Yes. So thank you everyone for watching. I will put my pen down. Thank you everybody for watching, and we hope you enjoyed our video. Please let us know in the comments below how you're doing, what you're working on. If you've got any funny stories, especially about snakes in a house, let's add that in there. But otherwise,
wildlife.
So we'll sign off for now. If you like what we're doing, please like and subscribe. And if you hit that notification bell, you can get notified every time we upload a new video. I have seen we're getting a couple of new subscribers, which is really exciting for us.
Yes, definitely.
So we'd love to have you join us as well. But if you've got any questions, comments, please email us. Our details are in the description. Otherwise, we will see you next time. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.